It's been about 5 years since we posted part 1 of our cargo trailer camper conversion summary. That video walked through what we built, how we set it up, and what we liked most about the process. A lot of you have watched it, commented, and even built your own rigs since then, so thank you. But 5 years on the road and off the road will teach you a few things. Some ideas that seemed brilliant at the time didn't hold up, and other things we skipped, we wish we hadn't. So today, here's part 2 of our cargo trailer build summary. What we'd do differently if we started this build today. Real-world lessons from real-world use. Let's get into it. 1. We would insulate the floor. One of our biggest oversights was skipping insulation under the floor. At the time, we thought, heat rises, right? We've got the ceiling and walls insulated, that should be enough. Wrong. Even with all the other insulation in place, the floor still radiated cold in winter and baked in summer. You'd feel it the moment you stepped barefoot inside. Worse, it created condensation under our bed and storage bins, sometimes enough to leave damp spots. If we did it again, we'd lay rigid foam board, XPS or polyiso, under a plywood subfloor. Even just a ½ inch would have made a big difference. You could also use furring strips to raise the subfloor and run wiring or plumbing underneath. But the main idea is, don't skip the floor. 2. We'd use different flooring than stick-on planks. We went with peel and stick vinyl flooring because it was easy, lightweight, and looked good. But it didn't stand up to trailer life. Over time, the planks lifted at the edges. Heat, humidity, and vibration from the road slowly broke down the adhesive. Dust and grit found every little seam, and eventually we had a floor that looked rough and felt loose underfoot. If we had to do it again, we'd use a single sheet of commercial-grade vinyl or rubber coin flooring. Interlocking vinyl tiles with stronger adhesive might also work. The key is flexibility and durability. Trailers flex more than houses do, and your flooring needs to flex with it. 3. We'd plan for trash and cleaning tools. This one might sound simple, but it makes a big difference in everyday comfort. We didn't think about where the trash would go. So we ended up hanging bags off drawer handles, tucking them into corners, or worse, letting them sit out in the open. Same goes for the broom and dustpan. They never had a home, so they got left behind or ended up in the way. Next time, we dedicate a small cabinet or vertical cubby near the door for trash and cleaning tools. A tilt-out trash bin or even a bucket under the sink would have been an upgrade. It's not glamorous, but when you're living small, those everyday tasks matter. 4. We'd add side vents for airflow. We installed a ceiling fan and thought that would be enough ventilation. It wasn't. Cargo trailers are built to be sealed up tight, and without airflow, you get stale air, humidity, and even mold. There were times when we just needed a breeze, but didn't want to burn battery power running the fan all day. What we do differently is install side vents, one low on one side, one high on the opposite side, to allow passive cross-ventilation. That alone could keep things cooler, reduce condensation, and help the fan work more efficiently when it is running. We'd also make sure those vents have bug screens and maybe even closable shutters for cold weather or driving days. 5. We'd add windows or cameras for full visibility. We had windows, but only on 1 or 2 sides. That meant limited airflow, poor visibility, and a boxed-in feeling, especially when parked in a tight spot or unfamiliar area. Next time, we'd either install small windows on all 4 sides for light, airflow, and security, or we'd go with a low-cost CCTV setup. You can now get 4 camera systems with night vision that feed to a screen inside. They're great for checking around your rig without opening a door. It's not just about safety, it's about peace of mind. Whether it's coyotes, nosy neighbors, or your own curiosity, being able to see outside makes the space feel more livable. 6. Bonus. Rear cargo doors might have been better than a ramp. We chose a rear ramp door, which made sense for loading heavy items and keeping the entrance wide open. But over time, we realized the downsides. The ramp takes a lot of space to open. It's heavy, and it makes it tough to add a rear window or screen door. In campgrounds or urban parking, there often wasn't room to drop the ramp, and that made entry a hassle. If we built it again, we'd seriously consider rear cargo doors instead of a ramp. They're quicker to open, more versatile, and allow you to treat that back wall like any other, installing a window, shelves, even a pass-through hatch. If you already have a ramp, there are ways to modify it. Some people convert them to swing-open barn doors or insulate and seal them from inside. Those are 6 of the big things we'd change if we built our cargo trailer camper again. The good news? Most of them are fixable, even after the build, and every misstep gave us a clearer picture of what actually works when you're living on the road. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check it out. We go through the original build from start to finish. And if you're currently planning a build, I hope this helped you avoid a few of the mistakes we made. Let us know in the comments, what's one thing you wish you'd done differently in your camper or RV build? Your advice might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Thanks for watching. See you on the road.